cause we get around. Talking about my generation. Things they do look awful.
What is going down, world? Welcome to the 40s. I go by the name Black Pegasus, and today I'm checking out the one and only The Who. This song is called My Generation, and this is coming off of me checking out Pinball Wizard, which was fire. I think this was earlier than that, though. This one, I think this was, I don't know. I don't remember the date on Pinball Wizard. I just thought that story was incredible. I don't know. It was just interesting. I never expected a song about pinball to come out. And maybe there's tons of songs about pinball. I know in this day and age, there's songs about Dungeons and Dragons. But anyway, The Who, My Generation, is here on the channel. Now, this is what's very crazy. I've never heard this song by The Who. Who originated this song? This is their song. I saw a cover. I reacted to it on this channel, Ren and the Big Push. I love Ren's music, and he's known for, street busking his own stuff and doing amazing covers. And this was one of the covers he did with his group, The Big Push. And now I get to, this is why I've been going down the classic rabbit hole, because I realized as I was reacting to a lot of these singers and performers that I didn't even realize they might not have been the orator or the origin of the track, like it was a cover. So that's why I've been just on the rabbit hole of classics, and I'm enjoying it. So today, I get to find out the sound of The Who and the original My Generation right here and now. So, hey, if you're here for it, like, share, comment, subscribe. Welcome back to the channel.
They tease him a lot, black peas on the spot. Welcome back, 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 welcome back. 40.
All right, the logo's down, the video's up. Don't forget to support the original content on the channel. Also, if you want to check out my other channel, Pegasus vs. the World, over there I do commentary, talk about trending topics, we react to comedy, but all the music and the music reactions happen over here on this channel. If you wanted access to the reactions early, we have a membership for that, link in the description. Huge catalog of reactions that have not been released to the public yet, and I update it every single day so you can have some fun in there. Again, there's no obligation, and eventually everything in the membership will be released publicly, but it just takes time because I only release a couple videos a day. You know what I mean? So thank you guys for your support. Huge shout out to all of the members on the channel. Let's get this show on the road. This is not on the Who's official YouTube channel, so I would ask you guys to go over to the Who's official YouTube channel, watch their videos, listen to their music, stream their music, support the original content creator. I chose this video just because it looked like it had a cool montage with it, and it had the most views, so that's why I picked it. But excuse me, get these burpees out. Let's do this, man. The Who, My Generation. Let's go.
People try to put us to down. Talking about my generation. Just because we get around. Talking about my generation. Things they do look awful. Talking about my generation. I hope I die before I get old. Talking about my generation. This is my generation, baby. Why don't you all fade away? Don't try to dig what we all say. I'm not trying to cause a big sensation. I'm just talking about my generation. My generation. This is my generation, baby.
Hold on. I don't know exactly, but in my opinion, this so far is probably one of my favorite songs by The Who. The Who. I don't know, that up-tempo swing, and it's talking about my generation. Bro, this is crazy. I actually really, really, really like this one. Because I remember Never Get Fooled Again. That was cool. Who are you? Who? That's catchy. It's cool. It's dope. But this is absolutely fire. And I cannot contain the fire. Now, there's something they said that's really interesting in these lyrics. And I thought this was crazy. Because they say they look down on us, talking about my generation. And I think this, literally, the lyrics to this song could go for any generation. Because when you're young, adolescent, we get to this place where we think we know everything. We're very rebellious. And I think the problem with the older generation is there is something to learn from the younger generation. However, there is wisdom that does come with the older generation that sometimes the younger generation rejects. And that's where the collide happens, right? And he said it in the lyrics, and it kind of blew my mind. He said, I hope I pass away. Not in those words. I think he said, I hope I die before I get old. I hope I die before I get old. And it's interesting because there's some kind of valiant, because you know the saying, the good die young, right? So you're just like, I'm going out, you know? But it's also a rejection of the wisdom and life experience you get with age. And so it's almost also, I'm not saying it's insinuating this, but essentially on paper, like, as I've matured as an adult, like, I was this kid. Bro. I toured with, like, you know, some revolutionary hip hop artists in my day. Like, legit, the leader of, like, revolutionary rap music, where, like, in Denver, the feds broke into his hotel room after we did a show. And when I was young, you know, I leaned into that just revolutionary, rebellious. And as I've gotten older, because you also have to remember this is coming from a kid who grew up where my dad was in the Air Force for 21 years. So having that military structure, that has also been a fundamental part of my life. So seeing multiple things, now I'm a 45-year-old man raising kids and understanding a little bit more where some of the, let's say, the revolutionary conversation comes from and different things like that. I just stand in a different place now. I look at police officers differently. Everything has changed, and that only came with my lived experience. So that's why that line stood out to me so much. That's just crazy. It's not a bad thing. I just get it. Like, I get it. He's like, I want to go while I'm in this place, you know? When you get older, you change. Your views change, you know? And I wonder if he put that in there purposely because he recognized that. He's like, I don't ever want to be on that side. Maybe that's the wrong side of thinking, you know? But then lived experience, bro, like as you get older, man, you start paying taxes, you start doing this, that, and the other. You start actually diving into the statistics of the way society really runs. You're like, oh, I got that wrong. I'm just speaking from experience. I'm not speaking for you. I'm not speaking from them. I'm speaking from lived experience, being a teenager, touring, rapping, touring with revolutionary hip hop artists, meaning like, you know, knowing anarchists, etc., and then being a 45-year-old man, raising two kids, being married, you know, trying to create, you know, generational wealth or like a legacy to leave my children at some capacity, you do change. It's really interesting. I don't know. That line hit me hard. That hit me really hard. This is a great song. Let's go. The Who, My Generation.
Why don't you all fade away? Don't try to dig what we all say. I'm trying to cause a big sensation. Just talking about my generation. This is my generation. This is my generation, baby. Try to put us to down. Talking about my generation. Just because we get around. My generation. Things ain't do look awful cold. My generation. I hope I die before I get old. My generation.
the beef between Police and Young is just like, I lived it, bro. Like, I get it. Like, it's so funny. It's just so, because they're the authoritative figure and you're in a like, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if they're protesting, like what time this was, but there's just a lot of protests going on in this time, just like there are a lot of protests going on now. It's just so funny to see it live, like a authoritative figure trying to grab his arm. And I'm like, yo, that's happening to me. Oh, dang. Talking about my generation. Okay, damn. Things do kind of change, don't they? Now I'm, when my kid acts up, I'm like, get over here. You're not supposed to do that. Like, that's, you know what I'm saying? It's just so crazy, bro. Anyways, let's go. And I'm not saying they're, oh man, I'm messing up the song. Sorry, you guys. I get caught up because this is like literally history unfolding. What's crazy is, anyways, all right, let me just get through this. This was one of the first times where I think a video actually portrayed the music perfectly. I've been watching a lot of videos lately, and sometimes the videos will throw you off from the song. And I felt like literally this song, My Generation, could have been the soundtrack for the mid 60s or late 60s, very early 70s. Like, it literally could be the soundtrack for that at some capacity. And it was perfectly displayed. I got a little caught up in the antics of the video because seeing that power struggle between the youth and authority, it's always there because as the youth, we are still in touch with this certain vision and imagination and ideas. It's almost like I see the world through the eyes of my child at times, that innocence where you're like, oh, yeah, like we want this, that, and the other. And I think as we get older, it gets removed a little bit, and you get to see that in some of these video clips, that the butting of heads of the generation wall, you could even say. But I don't know. I enjoyed that because this is a recurring thing in societies. Every generation feels like, I remember when Will Smith had that song, I think, Parents Just Don't Understand, or grown up. And it's just the concept. Grown-ups don't understand. The government doesn't understand. And a lot of times they don't. But there's only a midway point where you can meet, because as I look back in the past, there's many things I've apologized to my father about. There's many things before my mother passed I apologized to her about, just being a knucklehead and just being very immature in my thinking. And there's some things you get right, like conceptually in your youth, but lived experience plays a huge toll in the way you live out things, So that's just me speaking from my experience, to each his own. But I really enjoyed that track, and I'm glad I got to hear it from its origin. And shout out to Ren and the Big Push for putting me on, because that's how I heard the lyrics beforehand and the music being played. But that's my first time checking out The Who actually doing the original. So you guys let me know what I got, what I missed. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Thank you for being some man. 40 years down the road, back again. FUQ, boy.